Greetings, foreign dogs, pathetic mortars, Japanites, beloved Japanites, and welcome to another resounding, glorious episode of Paintingu. A moment where I descend to proper Paintingu posture. Anish, we are ready. Carlos, he's outdoing you again. First one in the chat, doing your job. Carlos, you should be ashamed of yourself. Stabaru, like and subscriber, you have no honor. Indeedo. If you have not yet purchased your Paintingu T-shirts, you also have no honor. Desmondo, welcome to Paintingu. Another day, another Paintingu off the coast of Riberia. We have returned to observe the interactions between a utility belt wielding Yeti and some Nazis left over from World War II. They have sequestered a U-boat from a museum in Berlin, and they have departed stealthily towards the coast of Africa and have confronted this magicar Yeti off the coast of Africa near Riberia. This engagement should be profoundly racist. Turns out it's not a Yeti, it's just some black guy who's really unkempt. Like the Nazis roll up on the fucking coast and like, Mein Gott! Das ist ein Yeti! It's like, no hair button. That's no Yeti. That's a nigger. Like Pokemon. A wild nigger has appeared off the coast of Riberia. Oh, right. A ding of the dong for clarity and cleansing of the chi. For it is 3, and it is time to gather our chi. Ah. The dinging of the dong produces vibrations. These vibrations tingle down my spine, letting me know it's time for Paintingu. We begin! Oh god, that's so loud! There we go. Did you delete a comment there? Hold on. Oh yeah, it came back there. Hans uses Flammenwerfer. It's super effective. It's like, man, Flammenwerfer is like, I fucking love that word. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's a flamethrower. It sounds very aggressive, like, do you know what I mean? But a Flammenwerfer sounds like it could be used in your garden. Like, it's like, my love, hand me the Flammenwerfer there. I have weeds to kill. Oh god. Who doesn't want to get their hands on a, like, World War II flamethrower? Like a legit one, you know? And, like, use it to, like, I'd put up, like, I'd dress mannequins in, like, you know, like, I'd have the Ottoman Empire, I'd have the British Redcoats, I'd have Nazis, and, like, just to be fair, you throw in, like, Allied forces and French and stuff like that and all. You just burn the lot of them and, like, see what uniform is most flame retardant. It's like, here they're burning the Nazi, like, uniform and it, like, just catches fire immediately and, like, bursts into flames. And they're just like, ah! I see Hugo Boss was big into his aesthetics, but not so much functionality. One would think flame retardant military uniforms would have been like a good idea. But aras. Same with Nebelwerfer or Mist Thrower. But it's basically a modernized Korean hwacha with high explosive rockets. Oh man, I have a fucking sniper rifle video that I'll put it in the Telegram chat later. Fucking hell, what a weapon. Time for the fanfrex. Paintingu! Paintingu. 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 It's paintingu. Let's fucking go! Painting you! Painting me! It's painting go! Let's fucking go! Painting you! Painting me! It's painting go! Let's fucking go! Yup! I press my royal rag upon my demi-divine knee. I get my bitches! And I wet them. I squirt upon my parrot to get the goo flowing. And we all begin to painting goo. Oh. Right. The Yeti must be completed. Today, we complete a Yeti. That clip of Owen breaking during the bit was so fucking funny. Like, oh yeah, we just dress the tranny up like a fucking Statue of Liberty and then get him to do a few bits and throw him back in the insane asylum. He just starts pissing himself laughing. Oh, I love it. I love it. For those of you who have not purchased your Paintingu T-shirts, you have a no honor. Grab yourself a Paintingu T-shirt. Link in the description of this video. Shout out to Printer Bear for the collaboration. Paintingu, Paintingu, goo 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 goo. Let's fucking goo. What's this? My mic is Rus. And no, I don't mean Russian. There we go. Right. Which bitch? Methinks many bitches. First, I'm gonna give it eyes. Big green eyes. Green horns. Time to get this bitch wet. You dip the bitch head first into the bucket. The Paintingu bucket contains waters that are never changed. I ride. Seldom changed. Changed they are, but not often. The waters contained in the Paintingu bucket hold many memories. Once your bitch is sufficiently wet, remove her halfway, not all the way, halfway from the Paintingu bucket and beat her vigorously. Use your royal rag to dispense of all evidence of the matter. Your bitch is now ready for Paintingu. Right! Japanites! Let's fucking do this. I must make it green. Don't we all need to be making some green? Pay for painting goo! A missed opportunity for selfish advertisement and promotion. Is that a missed opportunity? And a missed opportunity is what? A nigger thing to do. Our grand creator praises opportunities in front of us, behind us, beside us, above us, below us, on a daily basis. Ignorance, lack of discipline and paying attention, produces fuckery. Not on PEINTEINGU. On PEINTEINGU, people like the Peddleroo show up and provide us with much needed patronage, paying for PEINTEINGU, shouting out PEINTEINGU, and reminding everybody how fucking utterly amazing PEINTEINGU is. Welcome, Peddleroo, to PEINTEINGU. How are you? I want my PEINTEINGU t-shirt, but Taxman just broke my ass. When you buy the PEINTEINGU t-shirt is irrelevant. Simply buying it at all is what's needed. I was inquiring this morning in my Roker print shop about prices for business cards. I will soon have a business card that I will place in PEINTEINGUs that I post to Japanites. Amongst other things. Progress is abundant here on PEINTEINGU. We are making turtles. We are making cats in funny costumes. We are making Yetis fight Nazis off the coast of Africa. Here on PEINTEINGU, our creativity and veneration for our beautiful realm is boundless. PEINTEINGU, painting you, painting me, is PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU, painting you, painting me, it's PEINTEINGU. If you're not singing the PEINTEINGU tune, you have no honor. Now I'm on a horse. It's like that Old Spice ad. Now I'm on a horse. Like, oh, make it a greener. A pear green. PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU. It's PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU. It's PEINTEINGU. Bow, 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 bow. A quick squirt on the parrot to make it a good flow. Ah, the beautiful resonations of the shamisen. You cannot beat some good shamisen. Ding, 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 so Asian, it's fucking awesome. Grifu-san! Koberu-san! Welcome to PEINTEINGU. A quick sip to relax the vocal cords. I reclaim small honoru as I complete my purchase of PEINTEINGU T-shirt. Desmondu, your honor knows no bounds. I think perhaps your honor is a result of the epic proportions of your beard. Only a true Japanite could embrace such hairiness. I should know, I'm quite hairy myself. Yeah! Go, 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 go. Paint, paint. Yeah! Yes! Yes! Crap for PEINTEINGU! Yes! Pathetic mortars, foreign dogs, beloved Japanites. Crap for PEINTEINGU! If you do not crap for PEINTEINGU, you have no honor. Your ancestors will look upon you with great shame. As a demigod, I can tell you now, I can hear your ancestors crapping in the distance. If you do not crap, you shame them, you insult them, you dishonor them, and yourself, and your family. But my ancestors are my family. I will meet your current family. Ancestors are old family. Dead family. What's this? The first advertisement to interrupt the goo. Save yourself! Do not mind the aisle! Save yourself! Pathetic female swine! Piddering your muck! That is not food! That is pig feed! Foreign bitch. Your ancestors have digestive issues. That's such a polite insult, like, your ancestors had digestive issues. Like, okay. It's like, your ancestors had diabetes. That's why they could not defeat us. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Nazis. U-boat. Paint, paint. Nazis. U-boat. PEINTEINGU Go-Go. Oh yeah! Unleash the demon within! Paint, paint. Paint, Paint! Nazis! Painting goo goo goo. Goo goo. Painting goo goo goo. Goo goo. As you can see, the glorious light of heaven shines brightly upon Paintingu this fine day. Give reverence to the grand creator, for he is a merciful. Paintingu goo 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 goo. Goo goo goo. Grey is such a useful color. Perhaps one day I will Paintingu a monotone Paintingu. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Nazis. U-boat. Paint, paint. Squirt, squirt. Paint, paint. Squirt, squirt. Paint, paint. Nazis. Painting. Goo goo. Painting. Goo goo. Painting. Goo goo. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Nazis. Oh yeah. Painting. Goo goo. I want a many cannons and weapons upon this U-boatin'. Paint, paint. Dick Fordu! About fucking timeu! Welcome to Paintingu. If they could be heard crapping in the distance, they got issues. I cannot hear your ancestors crapping in the distance. Say, if you can hear them crapping from a distance, they've got bowel problems. It's just like, just painting, you know, painting away, and then in the distance, all you hear is like, Jesus Christ! Like, oh fuck. Painting go 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 go. Our resident 850-pound, formerly addicted to cocaine, Siberian tiger Garlos wishes to remind you, foreigners, maggots, dogs, and beloved Japanites, to Reika unsubscriber to Paintingu. Donned in his favorite aluminium bucket and sunglasses, this formerly addicted to white powder feline is most royal to me and the Paintingu streamer. As a result, I have employed him to remind you, pathetic mortals, to Reika and subscriber, you cunts, to Paintingu. If you cannot afford to pay for Paintingu, the least you could do is Reika and subscriber, you cunta. The last thing you want is for me to fling my tiger at you. Paint. Ah. The eyes. A very important and focusing feature of any creature. Quite often, I find it easier to construct the visage of a creature. Once you have the eyes, you can then more easily imagine said creature developing around the eyes, especially the face. From now on, when I say face, it's gonna be face. Or fuck-a. I will fling my tiger at your fuck-a. And you will regret it. I want to create an epilepsy medication called Not Seize. I know that's a hilarious play on words, but it'd be just as funny to call it Seize Not. Like, oh, that's fucking brilliant. Max Stoneborough, welcome to Paintingu. You honor us with your presence. Yeah, anti-Seize. Is that a Gurish warhorn? No, that's my ancestors crapping in the distance. Like that fucking thing that was going around YouTube for a while. The old Celtic horn. And it like sounds like a demon and shit. Like, I say, my God, are we at war? No, that's just Uncle Bob. Like, oh fuck. Congrats to all here who survived the Eclipse-Cost. It was so funny. The female turned around to me last night at like fucking like midnight or something. We're in bed getting ready to go to sleep. And she was like looking up stuff on TikTok or whatever about the eclipse, and she was like, "Oh, apparently we could have seen a partial one here." And like, there's no fucking way. Like, the fucking grey clouds and all the shit. Like, you know, no hope. Like, especially yesterday, it was pissing rain all day yesterday. But maybe that's why. You know, I am suspicious. I mean, it's like, look at it. Look at that. The heavenly right of heaven. It's a beautiful day out today, like, you know. At least here, anyway. Sip, sip. Paint, paint. Nazis. Right, let's give this Yeti his utility belt. Paint, paint. We make it a Batman belt. Make it yellow. paint, paint. Paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Painting goo goo goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Expel demons from your bowers. Paint, paint. Hiya. Painting goo 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 goo. Paint, paint, paint. Painting goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. A moment. I must press a button yonder. I will return momentarily. Defender ass. Oh. Painting. Goo goo. Paint, paint. Goo goo. Painting. Goo goo. Painting. Goo goo. Painting. Goo goo. Will I give him like a fierce mouth? Have him like screaming like a fucking proper monkey creature would? I imagine Yeti's just like a cross between a baboon and a gorilla, but in the snow. You know? Kind of like, you know, like the polar bear is supposed to be said that, like, you know, they're like biggest and most dangerous of all bears. I would imagine the Yeti being like some kind of like Arctic primate that is just like fucking huge and like really dangerous. Which makes sense, because to survive in an environment like that, one would have to be physically superior. You're a urologist exorcist. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Those who survived have been rewarded with an entirely new sun. The Erd one was starting to fade out. Paint, paint. We would soon be Nazis had the Almighty not changed the burb. Paint, paint. Could you imagine if that's all it was? Is it like the fucking creator comes along and just like changes the bulb on the fucking realm? It's an eclipse! Oh my god! And like the creator's just like unscrews the sun and just pops it out, pops another one in and screws it shut, walks off. Paint, paint. Painting goo 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 goo. Paint, paint, paint. Painting goo 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 goo. I'm gonna be all over the place today. I'm gonna go from the boat to the Yeti to the Nazis to the boat to the Yeti. I might even go back to the trees for a bit. Being a demigod, I am the only one who knows. Hurry up! Painting goo 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 goo. Making different tones of grey can actually be kind of difficult sometimes, because you don't want to put too much of the brack in, and then sometimes it's not enough brack. Okay, so we'll go darker down here. Where's the sun? Over there. Right. We'll go darker here. And in here. Paint, paint! Squirt, squirt! Paint, paint! Nazis! Oh yeah! Paint, paint! U-boat. A little bit darker. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. U-boat. Much darker. There we go. That's more like it. Now we can paint, paint. Now we're painting. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Yeah, we'll put a gun on the top of it. Put a gun on the front of it. Big weapon platform on the front of it. Painting. Goo goo. For anyone wondering, no. The weapons and vehicles that I paint on Painting Goo tend not to be accurate. Painting Goo 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 goo. Okay, and then I might put another one like on the outside of it. Go back into the white here for a sec. I might put one like sticking off the side of it here. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Painting goo 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 goo. I'm just gonna weaponize the fuck out of it, like. The Nazis came prepared to fight magicar Yetis. Sounds like a Monty Python skit, God changing a light bulb. Yeah, like. It's just like God playing chess with the devil or something, like, and he's just like, oh, hold on. Just leaves. The devil's like, wait, where are you going? Like, strolls over and just like, turns it off. Shh, 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 shh. Unscrews it. Just pops it out. Like, and then like rummages around in his like, in his fucking, what are they called again? In his toga or some shit. He's like, oh, do I have another one? And shit! And like teleports himself over to where his library is or some shit and fucking fishes out another light bulb. Like, I know I have another sun lying around here somewhere. That's like, built fucking hundreds of the things. I find stuff like that really like endearing, and I think that like breaks down a lot of the like zealotry and all the fucking dogma and shit. Is like the fact that you can't mock Muhammad without like a whole culture of people being like, murder him. It's kind of like that kind of, it's a bit telling, isn't it? Like, do you know what I mean? That like you can't take a joke. Like, sure, whatever, like, some things are supposed to be sacred and shit like that, like, I get that, like, do you know what I mean, like, I mean, for certain situations it's cool, where it's like, no, we will not spill blood on these hallowed grounds, stuff like that, like, you know, but, like, and, like, don't get me wrong, something like the Crowder thing, where he, like, paints Muhammad in human shit or something, like, that's disgusting, like, do you know what I mean, I'd never do something like that, like, but I'd love to do, like, a Family Guy-esque skit of like, you know, God and then Jesus and Muhammad and like Vishnu and all these fucking like, you know, they're all just like in a room chatting, and like the idea would be like, you know, like imagine if it came to a point where like the reason why he allows all of these different ideologies is for, you know, it's the whole free will thing, where it's like if you can recognize the pattern in all the religions and realize that it's fundamentally just different perspectives, metaphors, and allegory of like an ultimate truth. That's like God's version of gatekeeping, you know, where he's kind of like, I will allow all of this to happen, but only because it will benefit like the people who get through, you know, like chaff from wheat and all that shit, like the cream rises. And there, like, don't get me wrong, there is a bit of There is a bit of darkness in that, where I'm like, Jesus, you want the cream to rise? Like, that's a very, like, farmer thing to do, like, you know. But, like, on a spiritual level, I mean, if there is some kind of, like, cosmic warfare going on, or, like, spiritual warfare going on above us, some kind of celestial battle, then I wouldn't be surprised if this is actually some kind of training ground where you have to, like, you know, iron out all of your spiritual and egotistical kinks before you're allowed don God's armor and shit, like, you know, like, cause, like, think about it. I mean, realistically, if you're actually going to be fighting demons in an eternal war or some shit, like, you'd have to be pretty based, like, like, and fairly disciplined and like knowledgeable and shit. Like, it'd be fucking awesome though. Imagine how cool it would be if we actually got wings when we got up there. God, that'd be awesome. To be honest, it was beautiful, but for us to think we can ascribe any meaning is a special kind of arrogance. Paid. God is in charge of all that. I know, like, I just think it's so funny the way any kind of event like that happens, and loads of people flock to it, and, like, make up all their mind about it and all, and fucking, like, have all these stories and opinions, like, you know, like, I love that saying, like, opinions are like assholes, like, everyone's got one and shit, like, that's what, like you can have your opinion about something, and, you know, people may respect your opinion, or your opinion may point to a truth that, like, other people haven't, like, thought of up until that point, but it's still just your opinion, you know? Like, I think all sorts of stuff, like, you know what I mean? And I know that I could probably be wrong. I'm more than likely wrong about a lot of shit, like, you know, I'm woefully ignorant of many things, you know? But, like, at least I'm honest, you know? And, like, that's such a rare virtue to see in people these days. Like, you know, patience, honesty, integrity, you know, loyalty, duty, discipline, compassion. Like, all of these things that, like, we've just foregone for Netflix and chill, you know? But when I look at it, like, when I look at myself, I'm like, it makes sense. I mean, if a lot of us are, like, traumatized and then, like, you know, don't have a fucking proper family unit, and then you have, like, everything in your environment is designed to, like, fuck with you, you know? Like, that's why, like, part of me thinks that, like, there's no way the population of the realm is, like, 8 billion. There might be 8 billion human beings, in quotes, but, like, I don't think more than half of them are real at this stage. I do believe in the whole thing that, like, there is either fake humans or, like, humans who have, like, surrendered and succumbed to certain patterns of behavior, which means, like, demonic entities, like, enter them and take them over and stuff. Like, I don't necessarily know if there's a way back for some people. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there has to be certain things that you could do or consent to happening that, like, once you're there, once you've crossed that line, God is like, all right, well, another one bites the dust. I have the rest of these to, like, you know, to work with or whatever. 'Cause I have a feeling that's how it works, you know? It's like God and Satan or whatever, like, fucking metaphorically sat down and had a chat and was like, okay, let's play this out, you know? I've got time. I fucking invented time. It didn't seem like the sun was replaced to me. Desmondu, what did you think of it? Since I am ignorant to what the sky signs mean, I really don't have much opinion on it. I just think of it as a cool phenomenon that's happening every so often. I'm starting to think that we are, like, I'm starting to think that we're in a bowl looking up at stuff passing over us and shit. And that would make a flood, like, you know, make more sense. Or if we're not in a bowl, there's literally, like, different planes of you know they say the Arctic shelf is like a kilometer up and, like, X wide and all this fucking shit, just this big wall of ice. I wouldn't be surprised if there's, like, you know, locations in the realm where, like, there's just this unbelievably vast mountain that, like, you know, vast in, like, you know, from left to right, like, on the horizon, and vast in height. And then if you were to scale such a thing or fly up to the top of it and then get there, you are now just on another plane that expands for, like, X amount and then has huge caverns and dips in it as well, with, like, massive oceans and lakes and stuff, like, you know. Like, I'm genuinely starting to think that I think the realm is, like, semi-fluid in a sense. Like, I know it's semi-fluid even in their model because 70% of it is fucking water or whatever, but, like, I mean semi-fluid as in, like, the reason, like, when the Russians drilled all the way down, what was it, 8 kilometers, and they hit a substance that, like, their drills couldn't get through no matter what they did. Like, all their drill bits, like, wore down and broke and all this stuff. Well, that to me, it's like as above, so below. So it's like you can only go so high before you get to a steadfast barrier. You can only go so low before you get to a steadfast barrier. But what is the barrier? That's the question. It's like, is it the firmament? Is it, like, some kind of scientific anomaly? Like, all these fucking things, like, and, like, that's where I start to think it's like we're encased in a bubble. That's why globe makes sense when it's explained to you, you know, because you look at certain things and you're like, all right, yeah, we could be on a ball, I suppose. Yeah. I think we're on a level plane that is far more vast and fantastical than we've been shown or told. And I think that plane, that realm, is encased by some form of, like, liquid glass. And that's one of the things that, like, allows the sun to do its job. Is like, and then there's like the inner sun, you know, like if you've ever heard of that, like the black sun and stuff, where it's like that actual sun is like in the center of our realm at the bottom, and the sun we call the sun and that we see flying around is actually like a focal point of energy that is connected to that center point. And then you have like the Saturnian cube, that big black cube, and it's also the same thing, like metaphorically, allegorically, religiously, spiritually, or whatever way you want to put it, that they walk around in Mecca is the black cube and all, like. And I've heard that it's just like, you know, it's like the magnetic it's like the generator of the torus field that surrounds our realm and all this shit, like part of me thinks it could be Bagel Earth, genuinely. Like, I think we could be in, like, this, like, circle with a hole in it. And, like, there probably is some sort of, like, gravitational, in quotes, or magnetic, or, like, static electrical flip in certain locations around the realm. Where, like, you know, you see in movies like Avatar and all, where all the mountains and rocks are, like, floating and shit. I'd say there's places like that here. And, like, I'd say one of the reasons why all of this stuff is, like, restricted and closed off in a military sense is because, like, they don't know what the fuck to do with it, like, you know? Like, think about it. When science surpasses religion, you know, and they just go, alright, well, let's go have a look then. And then they go have a look. And then they're like, oh my god, God is probably real. Dude, like, if you were them, how the fuck are you gonna deal with that? How are you gonna sell the idea of, well, we went there and yeah, we haven't got a fucking clue what's going on? You immediately lose all your authority. Like, I think that's as simple as it is. The monkeys before us consolidated resources for selfish reasons. And they probably did that because they got to a certain point and they were like, oh my god, God's probably real. Oh shit. You know? And they probably just had to sit down and was like, okay, well, we need to make a decision. Are we going to just, like, make it blatantly apparent that we have no authority over other people for any reason other than, like, the words we speak and the resources we have and the monopoly on force and shit like that? Like, because that's what it would be, you know? Like, if they just showed up on the news and they were like, oh yeah, so here's the firmament and we don't know what it's made out of, and we got really close to the sun, but we just, like, you know, burst into flames. The moon seems to be fluid in some way, but we, you know, can't get there either. And we went down really far and we hit a steadfast barrier that we don't know what it's made out of. So yeah, that's the crack. You know, like, it's like, nobody would listen to them. Nobody would be like, you know, nobody would join any army. Nobody would fucking obey any laws. Like, because it's just like, okay, so we know that you guys know nothing. Like, all your science, all your expertise, all your resources, like, got you to a point where you realized that you just, like, you know fuck all. Like, yeah, be light, Baku. I think there are things we just aren't supposed to know. Perhaps one day it will be revealed. Yeah, like I do and I don't like the fact that, like, you know, like, there is a reality to, like, what you don't know can't hurt you, you know? If you're ignorant or unaware of something, then, like, it does, like, depending on what it is, it doesn't affect you then, like, do you know what I mean? So you could make an argument that, like, if you were an authority and you were in charge of a lot of people and their lives and so on and so on, you were responsible for other people, like, you know, you could make an argument that the moral, compassionate thing to do is to be like, we can't tell them. People will go mental. People, like, it will just be chaos, you know? Which is funny because what you initially see when you're doing the whole truth or conspiracy journey, what you initially see a lot of is like, oh my god, they're farming us, oh my god, they're so evil, oh my god this, oh my god that. It's like, well, actually, what is more than likely the truth about all this is they have an overwhelming amount of responsibility and an overwhelming amount of stress because they make the decisions and stuff like that, and they go to these places and do these things. So when they then have to decide what information to disseminate to a public that they know from history is very unstable, you know, because they think about it, even when you do tell the truth, even when you just come right out and you just say the truth, look at what happens. Look at Owen, you know, like, you know, like, and it's not just Owen. Like, look at all the people throughout history. It was like, actually, this, and they're like, hang him, you know, like, it's just very obvious to me that it's like, you know, this whole thing is designed to test your internals, you know. This whole thing is designed to separate the wheat from the chaff. And I don't even like saying it in that way, because like it's like, you know, kind of implies that I'm better than other people then for X reason, which I don't think I am. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you were to compare, like, say if I'm like a Jedi and you're comparing me to like a Sith on the other side or something, like, are you better than the Sith? You know, just because you're, in quotes, good. Because you could easily make the argument that like most of the Sith warriors are actually better fighters, because they're more aggressive and violent and more willing to kill, you know. But then you could also make the argument that it takes more discipline and focus and self-control to be able to fight and not kill, you know, or kill only when necessary. So like that, like, that's what, like, I'm not obsessed with like balance and harmony, but I really see its utility. And if you like come from the whole Tao, like the yin and the yang and the balance and the harmony thing, like, but don't do the Indian kind of like that kind of amoral mistake where you're like, oh, well, the balance must be maintained. It's like, no, it's constantly in flux, depending on where you are, depending on what you're doing, or depending on who you're around. There's going to be more evil than bad, or more good than evil, or whatever in any given situation. So what's actually important is to realize that the realm is just based on polarity, where it's like positive and negative. And the trinity of that situation, the trinity of reality, in my opinion, is like, you have positive things and negative things, and then you have free will to choose between the two, you know. So you have the positive shit and the negative shit, and then you have us, and we're aware of the positive shit and the negative shit, and we can discern what is positive and what is negative, and we have to choose between them. Realm, whatever, this existence is just a big game to determine and teach you discernment. Guess it depends on what your definition of good is. Yeah, like, what is good? What is bad? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a whole argument in itself. Now, I know that, like, there's some things that you can, like, logically deduce. It's like, that is good. You know, because you growth and fertility and progress and, like, organic adaptation and change, which brings about more progress and growth and stuff. But like, already you can make an argument that growth can be a bad thing, because like, if you have a fuckload of mold growing in your house, that's growth, but it's bad growth, you know. Paint. So all growth isn't good, you know. It's like, it's a fucking endless flippity flop between, like, and I think that's why the Jews have so much power, because they're really good at that. You know, they're like experts in the whole, well, actually, you know, like, yeah, and they just like take out their textbooks and their 1,000-year-old arguments of, well, if you're gonna argue that point, then this, and this, like, you know. And most modern people don't have the requisite, like, ancient knowledge or fundamental truths or any of these things to be able to, like, argue that out efficiently and logically and sufficiently to the point where the Jew turns around and is like, ah, shit, like, you know, he got us. most of the time they win because they're just so good at loopholing the shit, like, you know? No matter how much progress you make with logic, they, like, just turn it on you and stuff, like. It's fascinating. It is, like, you know, a lot of it is very dark and all this stuff, like, but it's also fucking fascinating. Yeah. Painting goo 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 goo. Okie dokie. Got some Nazis on this boat. Now the Nazi uniform is like a dark grey with the red armband, isn't it? And all, like when I try to picture it in my mind, it's like, yeah, it's quite a dark grey with the black boots. Okay, now I'm gonna make them quite small because I want to put a few of them on here. I might just finish the bow in its entirety and then place them about the boat. My friend has just been out on a 2-hour walk. He reports much happiness today and that many reported falling asleep during the Eclipsu totality. Yeah, like, I can imagine a huge energetic shift in a realm-wide, like a natural phenomenon like that, like, you know? Because if the sun is, like, you know, a really high frequency charge of energy and then something passes in front of it. Yeah, I can only imagine the kind of implications energetically for something like that. That's really, like, that's really all it requires. All that is required of you to lead a fundamentally, like, pleasant and joyful life in a lot of ways is to just admit that you don't know. Like, your capacity to go, I don't know. Like, because, like, that just seems to be missing from so many, like, groups and individuals and stuff like that. It's like everyone's got this, like, alright, well, I've done this research and I know this and blah, blah, blah. It's like, paid. It's like, what do you actually know? Like, for, like, a fact. Paid. Like, can you actually make that claim, paid? Paid. Like, the profound arrogance of most people these days, like, you know? I think that's kind of funny as well, how, like, from a young age, I always despised people who were, like, really arrogant. I was just like, why are you like that? Like, you don't know. Paint. Like... Painting goo 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 goo. Yeah. Hi. It's one of my favorite things to do when I'm painting. It's one of the reasons why I got like sign writing brushes and like started doing the symmetricals the way I do them, like a pinstriper. There's something so fucking like enthralling and satisfying, enthralling and satisfying, and like just like mesmerizing, meditative. What's the fuck? Like you just get so into it. Like, well, I do anyway. But like putting a bit of like loading a brush and then having a section to put color to, you know, like I kind of just did there with the bow, where like I went from here all the way down the like, you know, the bow or whatever the fuck it's called, like the top of the bow, and then up here, and then in here and up here and there. Paint. And like in the, while still keeping the brush on the paper, and then like pressing in to increase the line width, and then coming back up and then going back down and then going back in again, and like you get like varying line densities and then like curves and fucking like, especially when you're like going paint over paint, and you can get like really fucking clean lines. It's so like fascinating to me. Paint. An hour and 7 minutes. Okay, I'm only going to do an hour and a half today, so for the last 20 odd minutes I'm going to turn it up a notch, and we're going to do some raving goo, and I'm going to do some more work on the Yeti, and then I'm going to call it, because I have much to do of late. I really can't afford to be doing 2-hour painting goos Monday to Friday while I'm doing the turtle t-shirt, and I have commissions there as well, which is great, but I have to reorganize. I must accommodate my current business schedule. Painting Google. So we are going to dive straight into a bit of raving goo for the remainder of the painting goo. Oh yeah! Glorious Gepu! Okay. It's beautiful. Right. If your chi wasn't throwing already, there's something fucking wrong with you, but this should work. Painting goo goo, painting goo 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 goo. Paint. Goo. Paint. Goo. Jump, goo, goo, goo. Need more gray. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh yeah. Glorious Gebu. That is my biggest gripe. People not being able to accept what they don't know instead of holding on to the sacred cows. Yeah. It's fucking... oh, it's so frustrating. It's also, like, it is a hilarious thing to say. It's like getting annoyed at someone being like, I know you don't know, so please stop lying. You know, like, it's like, well, how do you know they don't know? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, where did you get your truth from? Like, and it's like, well, I'm being honest and I'm using logic, and it's all like, well, how do you know from, like, you know, like, yeah, you could tell, like, do you know what I mean? But, like, how do you prove it? Other than having, like, actual, like, tangible evidence and, like, metrics and stuff, like, you know? And I get, like, that's why it's like these Zionists are, like, really good at arguments. You know, like being legalistic. That whole, like, nerdy fucking, you know, fixing the nerd glasses and being like, well, actually, you know, like, they're fucking profoundly good at that shit, like. And the reality of that is that, like, that's a very powerful skill to be able to, like, use, but it is based in cowardice, weakness, and dishonor. You know, because, like, that's just the reality of it. It's like everything else is a monopoly of force. You know, it's like, well, if you try to fuck around, me and the boys, you know, will fucking show up and kill you all. You know, but it doesn't work like that anymore. At least we're told. Do you know what I mean? Have you seen what's going on in Haiti right now? Has anyone been fucking looking into what's going on in Haiti right now? Oh my god. Like, Haiti's in a fucking bad statey. There's some mad shit going on in Haiti. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Squirt. Paint. Squirt. Sip. Rant. Paint. Squirt. Sip. Rant. Raving goo goo.
This is Dave, head of marketing at a ketchup company.
Oh, that's Dave, is it? Well, you and Dave can go fuck yourself. Paint. Goo. Paint. Goo. Painting goo goo, painting goo goo, painting goo goo. Painting goo goo, painting goo goo. Painting goo goo, goo goo goo, goo goo goo. Painting goo goo, goo goo goo, goo goo goo. Painting goo goo, goo goo goo, goo goo goo. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Goo. Painting 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 goo. Well, that's definitely a Yeti in a utility belt. Like, this is starting to look wild. Haiti in a bad statey. Oh yeah, I thought that one was great. Haiti doing not so greaty. Haiti's in a bad statey. Oh god. God bless everyone involved. I hope you're alright. Like, do you know what I mean? I've seen some mad shit. Like, hope everyone's okay. With any luck, your friends and family haven't been murdered and eaten. Paint. Goo. Minor squirt. Glorious Gepu. Paint. Goo.
We sit in the sun, in maze, we sleep, and we dream. Each of us dying slowly, the prison of our minds. We sit in the sun, in maze, we sleep, and we dream. Each of us dying slowly, the prison of our minds.
Paint. Goo.
Is it a new world, or will it consume us all?
Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh, how dare you! I was in through with the goo! How dare you! Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo.
I demand to know what's going on in my house.
Goo 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 goo. Tiny squirt. Allowing the goo to flow is of paramount importance here on Painting Goo.
Is it a new world, or will it consume us all?
Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo.
We sink the sun. It fades. We sleep. And we dream. Each of us dying slowly. The prison of our mind. We sit in the sun. It fades. We sleep.
And we dream.
And we dream. Each of us dying slowly. The prison of our mind.
Painting goo goo, painting goo goo, painting goo goo. Oh yeah. What weapon will I give him? Because I can place. Oh, do you know what I'll do? You see, I kind of have a branch sticking out here, out the side of the cliff, and I was thinking what I could do is I could give him, like, he's like holding onto a rope, and he's like swinging out off the cliff to come back in and attack the boat. That's why I've angled this cannon at him a bit. You know, because the perspective's a bit fucked because the Yeti's so big, but like, no, we can make it work. We can make it work. This is Painting Goo. My creativity knows no bounds, being a former god. Welcome to dealing with my parents about the Trinity. Oh, your parents are really religious? Ugh. Oh, God. Ugh. Like, religious people give me a creepy vibe, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think I get a similar vibe off of, like, very religious people, you know, who constantly talk about Jesus or whatever, like, you know, fucking, or just, like, reference it a lot, or, like, I get a similar vibe off of them that I do, like, creeps and pedophiles, like peeping toms, or like to me it shows a lack of in a weird way shows a lack of faith and self-discipline and ease within one's self, you know, that you're like so into God, you're so into Jesus, you're so into whatever, that you're just like constantly talking about it and constantly trying to like convert people and, you know, tell them how great your religion is and like why it means so much and all this fucking shit. Like, and it's like, man, a lot of it's just stories. We don't know how long we've been here. We don't know who's in control of what. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, really. Painting Goo. Painting Goo. just be a good person and enjoy the ride as much as you can, because like the consequences of like the consequences of becoming nihilistic and hedonistic and bitter and hateful and all these fucking things, like all you're doing is killing yourself and the people around you. That's all you're doing. Slowly. It's a slow, painful, physical and spiritual death. Like, be joyful, be grateful, you know? I've seen guys in mad circumstances, like not just men, obviously women too, but I've seen people in mad circumstances that I would look at and be like, Jesus, like how the fuck do you get up in the morning? And they're full of smiles, and they're like, you know, they're really grateful and they work really hard and all this shit, like, and it's all about this and this. It's all about your mind and your heart, like, do you know what I mean? Like the reconciliation of pathos and logos, you know? Just like chill the fuck out, like chill the fuck out and pay for painting. A Yeti wielding a bowl of spaghetti. Oh, how dare you, Desmond? How dare you bring such puns to me? Like, that's not even a pun, is it? Like, it just rhymes. A Yeti holding a bowl of spaghetti. Oh god. I got like his hands are in such a way that like I can't like place a bowl of spaghetti in it. Like I might be able to fucking I don't know. I might be able to change that arm. We'll see, like, you know, because that's some funny shit. Like, but I'm gonna do a rope going from here. Like, I'll do it thicker here and then like wind it back and go into the distance, and I'll bring this branch up and like actually make a little like dead outcrop over or some shit with some vines hanging down here to complete this off, and it'll look like he's like swinging out from the cliff to attack the Nazis. And what I could do, I'm trying to look at this hand now and be like, okay, what am I gonna do with that? But I have to call it there. Made some decent progress today on the boat and the Yeti. The Yeti's starting to look brilliant. I thought this the other day. Was it like, what's today? Wednesday or Tuesday? Is it today Tuesday? Yeah, fuck it. I think it was yesterday or Friday. But I was like, this is the new Xenoboon, Desmondu. Like, seriously, like, this thing's fucking awesome looking. Like, a fucking Yeti, like, with a utility belt, like, do you know what I mean? It's like... Like, what? Where did it get the utility belt? Why does it have a utility belt? Like, is it intelligent and like makes the things that it's like? It's like a wild Nepalese version of Batman, like, or a mad like Tibetan version of Batman, like Yeti man, Yeti. Like, oh god, I gotta leave it there. I gotta go. Right, I will return. Same price, same timer. Tomorrow. It will be 3, and it will be time to gather your chiu. Until then, my brothers and sisters, my beloved Japanites, and all of you foreign dogs and pathetic mortars who are not Japanites, who do not pay for PEINTEINGU. I love you too. But anyway, click the links in the description. Buy some merch. Buy a painting. Support the stream by giving me your money. Or buy a PEINTEINGU t-shirt. The latest rink that has been added to the rink section of the description of these streams is the PEINTEINGU t-shirt that I have corroborated with Printer Bear to manifest into reality. So, pay for PEINTEINGU or you have no honor, and I will return tomorrow to see if any of you have any fucking honor. Until then, be good, be true, and be beautiful. God bless, and I love you all. Noodles!